What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I'm a full-time media seller. I sell new and used media on Amazon and eBay. Today's video is a very exciting one. I'm going to tell you who I think is the dumbest successful reseller that I know. So we're going to jump right into that and kind of explain why I think that way and why the business still works even though that specific person really doesn't know anything about what they sell. So if you're interested in being around like-minded media sellers, join the channel. It's a tax write-off, $2.99, get you in the Discord, get you on the weekly Zoom calls. So much information out there from so many media sellers, so consider joining down below. But without further ado, it's time to spill the beans. Who's the dumbest reseller that I know? And a lot of you longtime watchers are probably like, please don't let them say it's me. Please, not me either. So let's go. All right, without further ado, the dumbest, most successful reseller I know, and if anybody guessed this, you'd be correct, and I don't take offense either if you agree with my opinion here. The dumbest successful reseller I know when it comes to their specific niche is myself. So I'm gonna basically spend this video telling you why I don't know things and why I could care less about knowing things. Okay, so for those that don't know, I've sold hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon when it comes to media and eBay as well. And honestly, I'm gonna be straight up with you, I don't know squat about books. I mean, I think about this all the time, right? So many of you out there, I'd probably say 99% of you that watch this channel have ever watched one of my videos has more knowledge when it comes to books and media than I do, right? And this is crazy to me because not everybody gets the results I do. So I try to figure out ways like, how does this make sense, right? Like, when does knowledge almost hinder your business? And it's crazy to kind of think about that, right? Because the more you know, the better off you're going to be. Well, not necessarily, not in the Amazon game, because we have softwares. All I have to do is scan a book with my phone and my Bluetooth scanner, and I'm going to know exactly how much I'm going to make. And it's funny, I said it in the last YouTube premiere, because all my premieres, I'm always there hanging out, answering questions. And I literally said it, if you could train a chimpanzee to have an Amazon business, you could, because what do you need to know about this? If there's a scannable barcode, I'm scanning it and I'm going, right? There's no research. There's no like trying to pick something out on the shelf. Oh, is this one worth it? Is this one worth it? There is none of that in the Amazon game. And I think to myself, like, holy smokes, like if you sat down and gave me like a basic test on book knowledge, just like, what kind of dust jacket is this, or what is this, you know, what is the book binding made out of? And I see so many people out, like Antique Book Collective, like this guy puts out these videos on like foxing and molding and how to do away with it. And I even seen Joji did a video where the binding was completely separated and he glued the binding back in, and I'm like, what's foxing? What's I don't know that this is leather or not from feeling it. And it kind of just goes to show that you don't have to have this huge knowledge base of what things are and how they work. If you just, you know, for example, my eBay pile, right? Sure, somebody that spent years and years understanding books can probably say, all right, well, this one's going to be worth it, right? Me, I can just look them up every single time, so I lose that time when it comes to that specific thing. But with Amazon, it's all about quantity and speed, right? How many items can I scan? How many items can I send in? I don't need to know jack squat. Sure, I develop a little bit of knowledge, but guys, I'm telling you, like, I don't do any kind of research when it comes to understanding authors and editions of books and, you know, things like that. And maybe it's, you know, I don't know, it's not even lazy of me, because I don't want to spend my whole life thinking about books. I just want to make money off the business. And thankfully for me, right, if you guys watched the podcast, I interviewed Max, Common Ground Finds, and he has an eBay consignment business. So of course, right, if I run into something I think's worth a whole bunch of money that's antique, I can shoot him a text. So maybe I leverage the relationships more than I do my own knowledge, and I'm perfectly fine with that, right? So I just wanted to kind of make this video And it's not really clickbait. I just want people to know, like, I'm not an expert in books. I'm an expert in having an efficient, very efficient Amazon media business that can make you full-time income. I think that's kind of like a big differentiator, right? I don't know everything there is about books. I don't understand, authors. I don't know hot authors, hot books. I find out this stuff when I look it up on eBay. It's not like I know I have $100 book sitting over there. I'll find that out when I look it up. A lot of you out there can say, hey, that's a $100 book. How don't you know that? Well, why do I gotta know that? I'm maybe gonna come across it once in my lifetime, and the time it's gonna take me to go down the rabbit holes and understand all the different authors and editions. It's just not worth it to me when I can just go source and scan 1,000 items and send in another 100 items and keep making the money I make. So I just wanted to kind of, not only like put a dig on myself, but I want people to understand you don't have to be super smart in books, DVDs, CDs, right? With Amazon and the software we're allowed to have, and I know particularly they're working on ways to get the software in on the eBay back end as well. There are ways you can actually not have to know everything under the sun and be successful. I'm a perfect example of it. I'm not smart, right? Look at one of my podcasts. I can't even say library, right? I say library, right? It's like, listen, when it comes to being smart and technical and English and writing and books, I'm not the guy for it, right? I'm just me. I just know I understand business. I understand what it takes to be successful in business, and I understand it's about processes more than it is knowledge, right? So you can have all the knowledge in the world, and I can have the best processes in the world. Well, I'm just curious, like, what would you choose? Would you rather have all the knowledge, or would you rather have the best processes for your business? It's going to be processes. It's got to be, in my opinion, because your knowledge means nothing if you don't know what to do with it, right? So I'd rather have the processes than the knowledge, especially when the knowledge can be done through a phone app, right? There's no guessing. There's no, well, is it worth this? Is it worth that? And I think that's why Amazon kind of appeals to me as much, because I'm dumb when it comes to books. Not necessarily, but I don't know nearly enough that I should know for selling books for, 5 years now. It's like, you'd figure I would be able to pick a book out of a shelf and know that it's worth something. I still can't do it this day, and honestly, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, but for now, I just scan, let the software do the thinking. Anything that's gonna speed you up and make you more money, that's the way you have to go to succeed. You can't be spending hours and hours a day, even if you don't have a YouTube channel and a Discord and all these other time sinks that you have. You have to value your time, and knowledge is good to a certain extent. You got to take action. You got to put in the work. And I think that's another edge up I have, is why I could care less about knowledge, right? Because at the end of the day, guess who's going to go out there and get the job done? This guy, right? You can think all you want about you. You know this about books. You know that about books. Who cares? If you're not out there sourcing the books, if you're not out there listing, sending, shipping, all that stuff, then your knowledge is worthless. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, well, I'm one of the greatest book scholars ever, right? And it's pretty funny to me because, like, I never really thought about this until I went to a few library sales, and they're like, are you a book dealer? And I'm thinking to myself, like, book dealer sounds so cringy. Like, I'm a book dealer. Like, listen, where I grew up, Kensington, neighborhood in Philadelphia, the word dealer does not mean you're a book dealer. It means you're dealing, some of the good stuff, right? So I just thought, like, what's a book dealer? And you start thinking about it. It's like somebody that thinks they know everything about books, and they just, they're this historian, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm a businessman. I'm not a book scholar, book dealer, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, I'm about the business and about making money. I could care less about how much I know about this specific book that I listed on eBay. Like, oh yeah, Ian Hay, I know who that guy is. He lived 3 towns over. Here's his, it means nothing, right? All I see is I can sell this for 20 bucks. It's up for 20 bucks. Sorry, Ian Hay. And like, I was even thinking about this, right? We talked about it on the last podcast episode. Like, I couldn't even tell you 95% of the stuff I sell on Amazon, right? I scan it, I check the data, goes home, goes in a box, gets shipped to Amazon, and it sells. Like, it's crazy to me that we have a business model, that this exists, where I'm basically just a data analytics person more than I am a book knowledge person, right? Because I'm looking at a software that gives you data, I'm analyzing the data on Scoutly, and then I'm making a decision whether or not I'm gonna buy it. So I guess you could say I'm more of a data person than I am a knowledge person, and I'm perfectly fine with it. And you should be too. If you sell media, don't think you gotta know it all. I don't know nothing. I mean, I guarantee you, if you're watching this right now, you drop a tough book knowledge question down in the comments, right? Throw anything out there you think that, I mean, I don't want something easy, right? Like, do you know what a hardback is? But you test me in the comments below. You put a question down there about books, something you think that maybe somebody like myself who proclaims himself as the used book guy should know. And I promise you, I will give you an honest answer to every one. And if I don't know, I'll straight up tell you I don't know. And I guarantee you I'm going to surprise some of you about how dumb I am when it comes to knowing stuff about books and authors. I mean, like, you could, yeah, who's the author of Gone with the Wind? I don't know. I think it begins with Margaret, only because I seen one the other day and I sold one a few months back. Stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are probably like, you don't even know who wrote Gone with the Wind? You don't know who wrote Atlas is Shrugged? You don't know who wrote Green Eggs and Ham? Dr. Seuss, gotcha. See, I am smart about books. So do that for me. You drop a little kind of, don't make it too easy on me, but give me something you think I should know about books, a question, and I'll give you an answer. And I guarantee you're going to be like, this dude don't know nothing. And there's nothing wrong with it because I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon. So it's like, hey, if me being not knowledgeable is going to continue to grow my business the way it's growing, buckle up, because I'm about to get a whole lot dumber going forward. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more dumb guy book videos. Bye-bye.